everyone, my name is Notlad and welcome to Find Love or Die Trying. Welcome back. We're back into another episode of this. I started talking into the microphone when there was no microphone in front of me. So there was that. But now we should be hopefully good to go, I think. Everything seems to be working out with the recordings and everything. I checked everything looks okay, so we're good. So without further ado, we're gonna continue with this incredibly fun story. Alright, we kicked off our morning with a delicious meal made by Violet. So tell us more about your dream, Tara. I don't really remember much, but I was in a video game and I was getting hit on by a lot of pigeons. Wait, she doesn't remember? Oh, that's right. It kind of messed with her head a little bit. Okay. Oh. How am I supposed to respond to that? What if it was a sign? I'm sorry, what? It was a dream, nothing more. I don't see how... Allie had a devilish grin on her face. I think it's just... voice! Voice, what's your voice? Alright. I think it's a sign, Tara. Right, that was her voice. It's a sign that you should try making video games. The world needs more pigeon dating sims. You're right. There's no time to waste. Tara ran off. Oh my. Oh my, are you certain that was a good idea to spur her on? Of course. Seriously, what's the worst that could happen? I feel a chill run down my spine. Oh, throwing off everything strong with multiple voices here. There you are, Eve. I've been looking for you. It's time to decide who's your second soulmate candidate. Kat moved in closer to whisper. Not like you really have a choice, though. So without further ado, Eve, who's the unlucky girl? I'd like to spend some time today with... You know... I'm gonna spend it with Violet. Something about her is kind of intriguing, and I feel that she's gonna have a deeper story, and we're gonna get to her anyways. Violet. Alright, we'll make it happen. Give us a minute to set up the scene then go find her. Violet, see, personally she was on the bottom of my list, but I'm gonna give her a chance. I had just gone outside the mansion to find Violet when a white limousine drove up and stopped in front of me. Of course, it's gonna be posh. One stepped from the driver's seat and walked toward me. Eve, good day. Please do enter. What's with the formal talk? Please, just get in the car, Eve. You already heard what she did to my bro. Huh? He opened the passenger door and ushered me inside. Uh-oh. Oh boy. I shrugged and went inside. What's the worst that could happen on a death game dating show? Why did I ask? We sat in silence as one drove me to what looked like some sort of fancy restaurant, then escorted me inside. This is the same restaurant we were! Bonjour, suitor. I wonder if I should give her a new voice, because I don't really like the voice I gave her. I feel it fits, but at the same time, it's a little... I don't like it. I don't know. I'll do a mix of maybe something. We'll figure something out as we go. Alright. Bonjour, suitor. I trust my new butler brought you here safely. Yeah, I'm still gonna have just a little bit of that in there, okay. Yeah, he did. What's going on, Violet? I thought I would give you a chance to have some alone time with the star of the show is all. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this one. It fits her personality. I am told this is what people do when they are courting. Have you never been on a date before? Of course I have. And I've read all the manuals on the subject. I'll have you know I've studied every book, the Lusty New Asian Maid series, and know them all by heart. Impressed, I'm sure. Sure. No, I guess that's pretty impressive. I guess, I don't know what it is, but I'm impressed. Sure. I'm impressed, Violet. Mine's will be nice. Oh, it was nothing. Pardon my interruption. I brought your food. Please be seated, honored guests. Violet and I sat at a table in the center of the palace as one placed each dish onto the table, onto the tail, one by one. Did it mean to say table? I'm assuming it just was missing the B. I'm assuming. That's a common mistake. Typos, they happen. Don't worry about it. But I'm assuming because otherwise, is she a furry? Like, what am I supposed to deduce about that? Okay, but onto the table, I'm assuming. All right. He seemed to linger over the meatballs as he brought them over. Oh boy. I know. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Thank you, one. Wow, that was nice of her. Please, don't hold yourself back. Don't think I will. This food looks incredible and probably worth more than my life. You're right on about both accounts, Eve. I'm ecstatic that you like the assortment. I planned it myself. You're a chef? You could say that. Why is she blushing? Why? I don't understand. That context didn't seem to go with that. Okay. What do you mean? Anyways, tell me more about yourself, Eve. There's not too much to say. Amnesia's hell of a drug. You do not remember your past? Yeah, bummer, right? Then rest assured, I will find the finest scientist in all the land to help you recover your memory when this is over. See, she's caring. She's nice. See, you should never judge a book by its cover. I mean, sure, her personality and stuff could be just a little bit too much for me, personally, but still, I mean, never judge a book by its cover. See, she's nice. She's caring. See, hey. So, who knows? We'll see how this goes. That would be great. Thanks, Violet. Think nothing of it. It's the duty of those with more to give back, no? Though, have you ever thought, perchance, that this is actually a blessing in disguise? What do you mean? Many of us would be happier not knowing what drag us down. That may be true, but still, I need to know. You sound just like the reference examples in the romance manuals. Considered me impressed. You know, those manuals are just regular old fiction novels, right? You're quite funny, Eve. An admirable trait to have. I like that. Anyways, you haven't told me about yourself, Violet. Who are you and what do you do for fun? I'd like to know. Being the Cision, okay. Being the Cision of Valentine's does not leave much time for fun, I'm afraid. I don't know what that means. Even on this show, I spend most of my waking hours managing the Valentine's restaurant business. But I suppose if I have a spell of time I enjoy, baking. Aw, she likes baking. Cool, that's awesome. I don't get it. Why are you so embarrassed by liking baking? Everyone has a hobby. Baking is something of a servant hobby, according to my parents. No, it's not. I love to cook. What are you talking about? When they found out I was enjoying that, well, they made sure to stop me from ever doing it again with all the restaurant work. It's a bit more ironic, isn't it? You know what? I do know of what, but what do you mean? Who cares what your parents think? Here on this island a million miles out, they can't stop you. How about we find some time together to bake up for lost time? She laughed like a child. That would be wonderful, Eve. I'll make some time on my calendar for you. We spent the next few hours enjoying the finest meals that money could buy. Each course was better than the last, just like each chapter of the lusty new Asian maid, according to Violet. Something tells me that the same applies to every moment I'll share together with Violet. See, that was pleasant. I was about to enter my room when I felt a familiar tap on my shoulder. Cat, you no good. Hey there, Eve. Got a minute? Let me just make sure Tara or Violet see me come in here. Fan some flames. Sorry, what? Cat looked around, smiled, then went into my room. I followed suit. I don't hear many people use the word suit. not in that respect, at least. That's I don't hear that often. First, the good news. Thanks to my plan, we've gotten enough ratings to avoid early canning. Yes, okay. People loved it when you and Tara were the main ship, but loved it even more after Violet kicked off this competition. I'm glad to hear I get to live. Oh, I'm glad to hear I get to live another day. For now, at least. But that can change on a dime. So keep it up. Also, I'm curious. How are you feeling about Tara and Violet? Between those two, do you have a favorite? Not gonna lie, Violet is actually surprisingly better. Though I've known her for less time, I think I like Violet more right now. I don't know as much as I'd like about Violet just yet, but I know more than anything that I just want to keep learning more about her. Really? Well, can't say I'm surprised. Let's see where things go with Violet. You'll be hanging out with her again soon enough. Only problem is I really miss Allie. Ah! Anyways, it's fine. Anyways, that's it for today. Also, Allie's characters gets all these little side prompts all the time. Unlike all the other characters, she gets to input things that others don't, which kind of suspicious. I don't know why. Keep it up, and who knows, you might just be the first one to make it out of here. Okay, though most of this dialogue is the same. Night, Eve. Good night, Cat. She left my room, closing the door behind her. You know, the more I say Eve, the more it's becoming an appealing name to me, and I don't know why. Guess it's time to turn in for the night. I should have used Guapa. That used to be my Among Us name. I love that name, Guapa. It rolls off the tongue, you know? Sometimes the most precious moments are the most mundane. It's just the two of us, spending the evening together in the game room. Wait, it's not Tara, is it? I'm reading a book at the same time, watching her rage against an opponent in a fighting game. Is it Tara? It's fun to watch her savor each victory or explode with profanity when she loses. Life's good. It's times like these where you wish life could always be this simple. Sometimes in those moments, people wish for more excitement, for fame, for fortune, for anything but the ordinary. But all I want is the ordinary with you. F you. Sorry, I'm not saying it. I love this woman so much. Is it Tara? No, this is trying to throw me off, isn't it? Then you set the meat at around 300 degrees for 40 minutes. Okay, I got it. Tara ferociously scribbled down notes. Wait a minute. Couldn't I just cook it for 600 degrees for 20 minutes? That's not quite how this works, I'm afraid. But the math checks out. What's going on? Oh, good morning, Eve. How do you do? I'm teaching Tara the proper way to prepare a pot roast. So far, I'd say it's going pretty well. Tara will be the one to prepare lunch today instead of me. Tara turned one of the dials of the stove as far as it would go to the right. And the student has surpassed the master. On second thought, perhaps I'll prepare an alternative course. One moment, please. Oh, ye of little faith. Time for the moment of truth. Lunch is served. Alright. If Tara is my soulmate, I don't know why, though. It's just kind of like... I don't know. I guess in some ways it makes sense because, like, she's the only one who doesn't seem to be as attracted to me and stuff like that in the normal sense. It's just... she's not appealing to as much as I was hoping. Like, the whole pigeon thing really threw me off. Like, that was not the date I was expecting. And so, yeah, I don't know. If she is my true love, the gamer in me feels like I'm supposed to go for Tara. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm speculating once more. Tara was nervously clasping her hands tight. Okay. I don't know, I'm just gasping. I don't know how do you how do you verbally express this? All right. It's delicious. I did it. Oh my gosh. Tara did a little dance in celebration and gave Violet a high five. Should I become a food blogger? I'm a cooking savant. This talent shouldn't be wasted. Psst. Hey, Violet. What is it, Eve? Is this what you cooked, or is this what Tara cooked? Violet smiled and winked at me. I don't know what you're talking about. She sipped on her soup contentedly. I couldn't help but smile back at her. Damn, this was the best meal I've ever had. Granted, my memory only goes back about 3 days, but still, it counts for something. I found Kat in the same place she found me yesterday. Morning, Eve. It's time to decide who's your last soulmate candidate. Oh man, I'm gonna make a killing from today's bet with 4. What? The poor guy. He doesn't know you've been rigging the show. Oh, the poor guy. He doesn't know you've been rigging the show? What he doesn't know can't hurt him. Wait, and I'm just saying this in front of all the other girls? Okay. I don't know if she's whispering this to me or something. Anyways, after you make your choice, it'll be just between the 3 soulmate candidates from here on out. Wait, just a second. What does... I thought somebody would ask, so let me explain. Okay, if you don't get chosen, we'll make the rest of the show a tropical getaway for you. Okay, like the Paradise Vacation thing. As a girl living this, so it's okay. You'll still be able to see the other girl. Okay, so it's the same as last dialogue. Tara did a little fist bump. So without further ado, Eve, who's the last unlucky girl? I'd like to spend some time today with Yui. Oh, I have to get to know Yui. She scares me slightly. Yes. I made a bet with Ford you choose Yuri today. You knew exactly who I'd be choosing. That's not fair. Right? Great choice, Eve. I knew I could count on you. She looks so surprised. You. Alright. Let's get this show on the road. I feel sad. Because like I was really going for I was really cool. I was really going for Allie. I'm sad. All right. The forest to the north of the house was as serene as could be. With each step forward, I felt the soft earth give way beneath my feet, and the wind caress my skin. Green as far as the eye can see, and her, in a flowing white dress, standing in the middle of it all. Hey there, Eve. What you doing all the way out here? I was looking for you. I was looking for you, Yui. I was hoping we could spend time together. Then consider me the luckiest girl in the whole world. Yui had the cutest giggle, the kind that instantly puts a smile on your face. I'm not doing the giggle. I don't have an adorable giggle. There's no such thing as adorable giggle for me. Well, you found me now. Care to join me for a walk? I'd like that. Aw, cute. We started to walk down the forest path together. I couldn't help but be fascinated by her hair flowing like the water in the wind. There is no water in the wind. Okay. Anyways, I doubt you remember, but I'm from way out in the country. I grew up surrounded by animals, nature, you name it. It was just me and my grandma, my 2 little brothers, and the alpacas, and my bunny's buns. And my bunny's bun, and bun, and the chickens, and too many farm animals to count. To answer your question from earlier, nature takes me back home. Do you still live there? Yep, wouldn't have it any other way. Though I have moved to the city for a bit way back when. You know, that's when I met you. How'd we meet? Well, you know, one thing I hated about the city is that everyone is in a rush. People just walk by each other as if they're obstacles to get past instead of, well, people. I came to the city alone, didn't know left from right, and I got lost. I swear every building looked the same. You can say that again. Why would I say that if I don't remember? I tried to ask people for directions to where I would live or where the school was, but no one would give me the time of day. Except for you. I helped you? Yeah, you didn't even know me, but you took the time to help me. To help me figure my way around. Gosh, I'd never been so embarrassed in my life. Why were you embarrassed? You know. Shy. I don't know. Actually, how do you verbally get a question mark like, huh? It's like that. I feel like that's kind of the anime style or something, but we found out later we went to the same high school, but we never talked too much after that. Aw, I'm sorry about that. Oh, it's not your fault, Eve. I had to move back home pretty soon after anyway. Well, I'm happy I'm getting a second chance to get to know you better, Yui. I feel the same way, Eve. You're just like how I remember. Well, actually, the whole trying to date 5 girls at a time thing came out of nowhere, but life is full of surprises, I guess. So why is she on this show? It shouldn't take long to remove them from the equation. Oh no. Oh no, this is like Yandere Senpai simulator. She's gonna remove the competition. Sorry, what did you say? I couldn't hear you. Just a little joke. I was just saying I'm so happy to see you again. Here's to the future. We spent the rest of the day taking in the nature and making up for lost time. Apparently, I was always ending up in trouble back then. I guess not much has changed. Something about Yui made it so easy to open up. I found myself almost telling her the truth about the show several times. Even though I couldn't tell her the whole truth, I couldn't tell her just enough. I could tell her just enough of what was worrying me to make me feel at home and at ease. Whatever's getting you down, I'm sure it'll be okay. No matter what, I'm on your side, Eve. You know, I really thought she was the one I had in my dreams, but you know, I'm thinking it's Tara. I mean, but the clues seem too obvious, and that's what's bugging me right now. It felt like it came straight out telling me the gaming room and that she was gaming, but anyone can really game. It's not a distinct description of just this one person. I mean, anybody else can secretly be a gamer. So I don't know what to make of that just yet, but we still have to find out which ones I like more. We still have more dates to go. After today's date, I went out for a short walk outside of the mansion. Oh, hey, Eve. Hey, Kat, what's up? Let's not waste any time. I gotta get back to editing, and you know what I want to hear. I know Violet was your favorite till now, but maybe Yui has shake things up a bit. Who's number 1 now? I don't know. The whole like I will destroy the competition thing has kind of got me worried. I think Violet still probs maybe. Should I save? I feel like maybe I should save. Let's overwrite that one. I don't know if there's any reason for me to have other ones to go back to. I'm not sure. So who's number 1 now? Violet's intrigued me, but I'm still not into Violet very much. We could say Yui to mix things up a little bit. Though I've known her for less time, I think I like Yui more than Violet now. It's Yui, you know? It's practically self-explanatory. She's the best. I can't wait to see her again. You really do change your mind like the wind, huh? Not really, but it doesn't matter to me though. I'm your producer, not your life coach. You see, so my decision, I should explain a little bit. The reason I'm choosing to go with Yui over Violet all of a sudden is just because I feel like, because they're talking about like the ratings and stuff like that, by choosing somebody else all of a sudden, it creates conflict, drama, you know, and more people go for that. So maybe this is helping to prolong my life. I have no idea. I don't know if that impacts anything. Anyway, I have good news that you might be interested in. What's that? My plan was a success. Having 3 soulmate candidates has worked magic for our ratings. Which of course means the show will go on. That's awesome. So I'm safe now? Just for now. Though we're not out of the woods just yet. We need to make sure the next stretch of the show rates even higher. It's time for phase 2. Over the next 3 days, you'll go a second date with each of Terra, Violet, and Yui. Just imagine how much higher our ratings would be if our viewers got to see even more of their favorites falling in love. Just imagine that sweet ad revenue rolling in. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Sounds good to you? Sounds like a plan to me. Good, that's what I like to hear. Tomorrow morning, I'll be asking you who you want to have your second date with. Put some thought into that. Sometimes the order of content is just as important as the content itself for ratings. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. I don't know if she's actually trying to tell me something there. Will do. Thanks, Kat. No biggie. I gotta get back to work, so I'll see you later. Why is she so sweet to me now? I mean, it didn't seem to be hesitant and like wiping my memory, but now she's all cheery, and maybe she just has to be because maybe she's still being watched. I don't know. I waved goodbye to her as she walked away from the mansion. I guess it's time to turn in for the night. We borrowed a boat and went for a cruise around the island. I love the way the wind feels. Why's that? Feels like freedom. I can't get enough of it. No cameras, no people, nothing to stop me from... She pulled me close and kissed me on the lips. For a moment, time stopped, and we were the only 2 people that existed. Doing what I want. I smiled. I'm pretty sure we don't need to be all the way out here just for a kiss. I guess you're right. After all, it's hotter if people are watching. We laughed together as we cruised along till the sun went down. The world was ours. Now this is telling me it's Allie. You know, this is... Because it sounds very similar. Like, she was also the one that kissed me while we were on the beach, and she was wondering if they were watching, or I was wondering, I can't remember who was wondering what, but we were commenting how it's more exciting if the other people are watching or something like that. This is really throwing me. The sounds of waves grows louder and louder, threatening to pull me back into reality. Will I know you before I'm taken under? Aww. In the morning, the girls and I decided to hang out in the garden outside the house. Oh wow! There's all kinds of flowers here that I've never seen here before. Really? You've never seen a tulip? Grandma and I only grew Hyacinthia's back home, so nope. Not even on the internet? And I thought I'd had to get out more. I can believe that. The only flowers I have ever worked with are Venus flytraps. What do you do with those? You feed them insects. Well, we do a lot of experiments at the lab. Don't you ever find yourself thinking, wouldn't it be cool to make a Venus flytrap that could walk and talk? Not actually, no. That sounds horrible. That sounds like you're creating a new monster race that's going to take over the Earth or something. You just literally never. It's whatever. She ran away 2 years ago. Both my neighbors lost their pet cats the same day too. Oh no. I miss you, Fluffy. You sure they were lost? Tea's ready. Thanks, Violet. I got a cup for everybody. The aroma from the tea really worked up my appetite. I have prepared some treats for us as well. Please enjoy. We spent the rest of the morning eating delicious treats and sipping on delicious tea as we theorized what might have happened to Fluffy. Personally, my money's on the felines being the culprits. Every cat I've met has had a nasty surprise up their sleeve. Hey, cat. See? Okay. Alright, morning, Eve. Alright, unfortunately, I have to end this episode here. We went a little over our time. But I hope you're just as curious as I am to find out what happens on these next dates and what actually happens as a conclusion to this whole story. I am dying to find out. I really want to know. This has gotten so intriguing and interesting, and my mind is just wandering with speculations and theories, and I love when a game does that. So yeah, this is so cool, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. And just make sure to tune into the next episode. So hit that subscribe button because it'll notify you when the next videos coming out. Actually, the bell notification technically does that too, but the subscribe adds you to makes you a part of everything, which is so cool, and you want that. You totally want that. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe today and leave a like, please. I appreciate it. So with that, I'm gonna end it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is NotLad, signing off. Later, guys. I've been locked inside your heart shape.